Sky Sports and Gianluca Di Marzio have both confirmed that Celtic are in active talks to sign one of the most exciting strikers in European football right now. Derek McInnes has broken his silence after the SFA handed him a 4-match ban for what he said about a Celtic penalty last season. Kelechi Iheanacho has spoken publicly for the first time since leaving Parkhead. There is a fresh update on a left-back target, with an insider hinting a move to Celtic is on, and key players are set to return for Saturday's pre-season clash with AC Milan. A big morning, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Kelechi Iheanacho has broken his silence after completing a move to Turkish side Bursaspor following his departure from Celtic, and his words will make interesting reading for supporters who were hoping to see him stay. Celtic held the option to extend his deal by a further year, but allowed that clause to expire. Once it did, Iheanacho became a free agent and was free to talk to other clubs. Despite Martin O'Neill making clear he wanted the striker to stay at Parkhead, the offer on the table was worth less than what Bursaspor were willing to pay, and the 29-year-old made his decision. Speaking on Bursaspor's YouTube channel, Iheanacho said, "I'm very happy to come to Bursaspor. I thank so much the president for making this possible for me to come to Bursaspor with the help of my agent as well. I'm very happy. I'm really excited to start here. To be fair, Bursaspor is a big club in Turkey, and I had heard that they had previously won the Turkish Super League. When I heard about their project that they wanted to climb up to the Super League and also play in Europe, I said that this is a big project and it's very good for me to come and be involved and help the team. So I asked my agent to make sure he does everything possible to make sure I come to Bursaspor. This is a big project, and I hope I will be a part of it and help the team achieve this big project." From Celtic's perspective, the situation could have been handled better. The extension clause existed for a reason, and triggering it would have kept the player at the club and avoided the uncertainty that dragged on through the summer. Instead, the club allowed it to lapse, made their offer late, and gave other clubs the chance to get involved. Iheanacho leaves with the goodwill of the support. His goals from the bench were crucial during the run-in, but that chapter is closed. With Dyson Maeda also closing in on a move to Ipswich, Celtic are light in attack and the window is still open. Recruitment in that area needs to happen quickly. Now for the main story, as Celtic have moved into formal talks to sign Casper Hoe from Norwegian side Bodo Glimt, with both Sky Sports and Italian journalist Gianluca Di Marzio confirming discussions are underway between the clubs. Sky Sports reporter Anthony Joseph has confirmed that Celtic and Bodo Glimt are in talks, stating that the Hoops have held a long-term interest in the Danish international after making an inquiry back in January. At that point, Hoe chose to stay and see out Bodo Glimt's Champions League campaign, a decision that paid off spectacularly. He scored 15 goals and registered 11 assists across all competitions, found the net against Manchester City and Atletico Madrid in the league phase, captained the club in the knockout rounds against Inter Milan where he scored, and struck again against Sporting CP in the last 16. On the night Celtic's talks were reported, Hoe was an unused substitute in a 3-0 win over HamKam in the Norwegian Elite Serien. The timing of that omission from the starting lineup has not gone unnoticed by supporters. Di Marzio went further than most. He said, "I think Casper Hoe will move to Celtic. It's not a done deal yet, but there is a good possibility." Norwich City had a bid of around £6.9 million rejected in January. That gives a clear indication of the fee required to get this done. Celtic appear to have moved to the front of the queue, and the signals from multiple credible sources are positive. Hoe is 25 years old, has 2.5 years remaining on his contract at Bodo Glimt, and has just come off one of the most impressive individual campaigns in Scandinavian football. If Celtic close this deal, it would be a genuine statement of intent ahead of a season that includes Champions League qualifying and a Premiership title defence. A striker who can score against Manchester City and Atletico Madrid arriving at Celtic Park is a signing that should excite every supporter. In other news, Derek McInnes has spoken publicly for the first time after the SFA suspended him for 4 matches, following comments he made about a Celtic penalty at Fir Park last May. The background: in the second to last Premiership match of last season, Celtic were awarded a stoppage time penalty at Motherwell after VAR sent referee John Beaton to the pitchside monitor. Kelechi Iheanacho converted it, and Celtic won the game 3-2. McInnes, who was Hearts manager at the time, was asked about the decision live on Sky Sports shortly after his own side's match had finished. He said the decision was disgusting, stated he did not think it was a penalty, and added that Hearts were up against everybody. The SFA held a hearing and handed him a 4-match ban. 3 matches are to be served immediately, meaning McInnes will miss Rangers' Premiership opener against Dundee United and league fixtures against Hibernian and St Mirren. The 4th match has been suspended. McInnes, now Rangers manager, spoke after his side's friendly against AS Saint-Etienne and confirmed the club will appeal. He said, "Obviously very disappointed. I don't think the punishment fitted the crime, to be honest, in my comments. But the club have issued a statement, and with that in mind, I'm glad the club have supported that. With that in mind, with an appeal process, I'm reluctant to say anything else on it. I'm pleased with what I said today. I'm pleased with the support I've got from the club, and I feel really strongly about it. But like I say, I don't really want to get into the nuts and bolts of it because we're in an appeal process, and we've got to respect that. Rangers will appeal the decision. Whether that changes the outcome remains to be seen. For Celtic supporters, the fact the SFA acted at all will be noted." Lastly, the build-up to Saturday's pre-season friendly against AC Milan at Celtic Park has been given a boost, with several key players back in training and expected to be available for the squad. Kieran Tierney, Anthony Ralston, Yang Hyun-jun and Sebastian Tunekti have all returned to Lennoxtown after their post-World Cup break. All 4 were involved in the tournament with their respective nations, but exited at the group stage, allowing them to return ahead of players who progressed deeper into the competition. That is good news for Martin O'Neill. Tierney's return is particularly timely given the left-back situation, with Penrice and Ferry both being discussed as potential signings to provide him with competition and cover. Ralston coming back gives O'Neill another option at right-back, while Yang and Tunekti strengthen a wide attacking department that has been stretched during pre-season. Colby Donovan has featured regularly while Ralston was away and has done well for himself, but the return of a more experienced option strengthens the options available. On the other side of things, Alistair Johnston, Austin Trusty and Benjamin Nygren are all still expected to return in the coming days, but may miss Saturday's game. Johnston and the Canada squad had an outstanding World Cup, reaching the round of 16 for the first time in the country's history. Trusty and the United States matched that run. Nygren's Sweden side reached the round of 32 before exiting against France. Celtic's Premiership opener against Dundee is on the 3rd of August, just 11 days away. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one.